Lincoln Adams only wanted to help a pregnant woman stranded in the storm. But when Elena Miller entered his life, the rigid rules he had set began to crumble. If this love story touches your heart, please help us reach 1,000 subscriptions. Before we begin, let us know in the comments where you're watching us from, and please like this video to support the channel. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. The heavy raindrops hammered against the car windows as if trying to drown the entire city of New York. Lincoln Adams gripped the steering wheel tightly, squinting his eyes, struggling to see through the thick curtain of rain in front of him. Suddenly, the headlights of his Aston Martin illuminated a figure stumbling along the sidewalk. Lincoln blinked, not believing what he was seeing. A woman with a large baby bump was trying to move through the torrential downpour, one hand holding her back and the other shielding her front, as if protecting the baby from the fury of nature. Without hesitation, Lincoln slammed on the brakes, opened the car door, and ran towards the woman, not caring that his $1,000 Armani suit was getting soaked. "Hey, are you okay?" Lincoln shouted, his voice rising above the roar of the rain. The woman looked up, her pale face framed by wide, surprised blue eyes. Her dark brown hair clung to her small face, and Lincoln could see that she was trembling from the cold. I'm fine," she tried to speak, but her shaky voice and weak body betrayed her lie. "You're pregnant, and walking in this storm is dangerous. Let me take you somewhere safe." The woman hesitated for a moment, scanning Lincoln from head to toe, as if evaluating whether he could be trusted. "I'm Lincoln Adams, CEO of Adams Enterprise. I promise I won't harm you. You need to get somewhere dry and warm, now." Elena Miller," she replied, finally accepting his offer. "Thank you so much." Lincoln gently guided Elena to the car, carefully opening the door and helping her inside. He quickly adjusted the temperature to a higher setting and pulled a small blanket from the back seat to hand it to her. "I always keep a blanket in case I need to take a nap between meetings," he explained when he saw the surprised look on Elena's face. "Looks like it's coming in handy now." Elena wrapped the blanket around herself, feeling the warmth slowly spread. "Where are you heading? I'll take you wherever you need to go," Lincoln asked, starting the car. Elena bit her lip, looking hesitant. I'm trying to get to my friend's place in Brooklyn, but my phone's dead and I don't have enough money for a cab." "Did you lose your job?" Lincoln asked gently, realizing her financial struggle. "My company laid off employees. I was the newest hire, so, you know, they didn't want to keep someone about to go on maternity leave." Lincoln tightened his grip on the wheel, a surge of anger rising inside him. "That's discrimination. They can't do that." "On paper, they fired me for cost cutting." Elena smiled bitterly. They drove in silence for a while. The rain continued to pour, and flood warning messages kept popping up on Lincoln's phone. "I'm afraid we won't be able to get to Brooklyn tonight. They've closed the Brooklyn Bridge due to the storm. Actually, they're advising people not to travel unless absolutely necessary." Elena sighed, looking exhausted. "I don't know what to do anymore. I don't have enough money for a hotel." Lincoln thought for a moment. He was usually very cautious with strangers, but there was something about this woman, maybe the desperation in her eyes, or the way she kept her hand protectively on her belly, that made him feel he couldn't just leave her. "I have an apartment in Upper East Side, not far from here. You can stay there overnight until the storm passes." Elena looked at him skeptically. You always invite strangers into your home like this?" "Never. I'm a very cautious person, but I can't let a pregnant woman face the storm alone." Elena was silent for a moment before responding. "Thank you. I'll leave as soon as I can tomorrow morning." "Don't worry about that. Right now, we just need to get you and the baby safely inside." Lincoln's penthouse was on the top floor of a luxurious building with sweeping views of the entire city. When Elena stepped inside, she gasped at the vast, elegant space before her. High ceilings, floor-to-ceiling glass walls, and minimalist yet refined furniture. "This is your place?" Elena asked, still in awe. "One of the places I stay. You can shower in the bathroom over there," Lincoln pointed. "I'll leave some clothes outside the door. After that, you should rest. I'll prepare some food. You cook? Elena asked, surprised. A little, Lincoln shrugged. Enough to not go hungry. After showering and changing into dry clothes, Elena felt revitalized. She looked at herself in the mirror and had to admit that, even though her baby bump was large and her face was a bit pale from exhaustion, she still looked pretty good. When Elena walked into the kitchen, she was surprised to see Lincoln standing in front of the stove, skillfully tossing a pan. The smell of the pasta made her stomach rumble. Wow, you're not just a little good at this, huh? Elena commented, leaning against the kitchen counter. I like to cook, just don't have much time. My brother is a chef, and he always says I'm wasting my talent by choosing business over food. Really? Well, I guess I'm lucky then. Lincoln plated the pasta with salad and fresh bread. They sat down at the kitchen counter, looking out at the rain-soaked city through the large glass windows. So, where's the father of the baby? Lincoln couldn't help but ask after a few minutes of silence. Elena stiffened slightly. He, did he leave you and the baby? Lincoln asked, his voice turning serious. Sean was a pilot. He passed away in a plane crash 4 months ago, Elena replied, her gaze dropping to her plate. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been so curious. Lincoln placed his hand gently on Elena's. I'm really sorry. Elena smiled sadly. Life has to go on. I have my little girl to live for. They continued talking over dinner, and Elena was surprised by how much she laughed. After all the struggles she'd been through recently, this was the first time she felt comfortable and safe. 3 days had passed since that stormy night, but Elena still hadn't left. The flood had submerged many parts of the city, and Lincoln had suggested she stay until things settled down. Is there anything I can help with? Elena asked when she saw Lincoln fiddling with papers on his desk. Lincoln looked up from his laptop screen, smiling when he saw Elena in the new maternity dress he had bought for her the day before. No, you should rest. I'm just going over some contracts. I've been resting all day, Elena protested, sitting down in the chair across from him. I'll go crazy if I keep doing this. I need to do something useful. Lincoln looked at her, thinking, what do you know about international contracts? I have a master's degree in international relations, Elena replied, surprising Lincoln. I used to work in the International Market Development Department at my old company. Really? Lincoln seemed intrigued. Well, maybe you can actually help me. I'm reviewing a contract with a company in Singapore, but there are a few points I'm unsure about. Elena took the document from Lincoln and quickly skimmed through it. Within minutes, she pointed out 3 areas that could be detrimental to his company. You're really good, Lincoln admitted, impressed by Elena's sharp analysis. This is what I was trained to do. What kind of company is foolish enough to fire a talented employee like you? That's life, Elena shrugged. I'll find another job after the baby is born. Lincoln watched Elena as she continued to read through the document, her hair neatly pulled back, her eyes focused. An idea suddenly popped into his head. Would you want to work for me? Elena looked up, surprised. What? Adams Enterprise needs someone with expertise in the Asian market. The salary would be better than your old job, and of course, we offer good maternity leave. Are you offering me a job out of pity? Elena furrowed her brow. No. Lincoln shook his head. I'm offering you a job because you're qualified. Are you sure? I never joke about business, Lincoln said, his tone serious. Elena thought for a moment, then smiled. Then I accept, but I want to be treated like any other employee. No special privileges. Lincoln extended his hand and they shook on it. Welcome to Adams Enterprise, Ms. Miller. That evening, as they were having dinner, Lincoln noticed Elena repeatedly placing her hand on her stomach. Are you okay? He asked, concerned. Oh, I'm fine, Elena smiled. The baby's just kicking. It's really active today. She pulled her chair closer to Lincoln and placed his hand on her belly. Wait a second. They sat in silence, and then Lincoln felt it. A small movement under his hand. His eyes widened in amazement. Wow, he whispered. It's incredible. In that moment, he felt a strange sensation, a desire to protect, to care. That night, after Elena had gone to sleep, Lincoln sat in his office, gazing out the window into the dark sky. He took out his phone and searched for nearby baby stores. A month passed, and Elena still remained in Lincoln's penthouse. Neither of them mentioned when she would move out. Instead, a new routine had formed. In the mornings, they would have breakfast together, then Lincoln would go to work, and Elena would work remotely. In the evenings, they cooked together and either watched movies or read books side by side. "Elena, what do you think about turning the third room into a nursery?" Lincoln suggested one evening as they sat on the sofa sipping tea. Elena looked at him in surprise. "You want me to stay long term?" Lincoln looked down at his teacup, as if searching for the answer there. "I think it would benefit both of us. You would have a safe place to have and raise Sophia, and I would have a home that doesn't feel so empty anymore." Elena was silent for a moment, considering his proposal. "Lincoln, I don't want to be a burden." "You're not a burden," Lincoln assured her. "Your presence, it makes this place feel more like a home." A small smile appeared on Elena's lips. "So, you're hiring me as both your assistant and interior decorator?" Lincoln laughed. "Let's call it a mutually beneficial arrangement. I get a great business partner and a cozy apartment. You get a safe place to stay and a good job." "If you're sure." "I'm sure." The next day, Lincoln came home with a large shopping cart. Elena was surprised to see a big pregnancy pillow, prenatal vitamins, and a stack of books on newborn care. "What's all this?" she asked, unable to hide her surprise. "Things you'll need," Lincoln replied simply. "I did some research, and the pregnancy pillow will help you sleep better. The vitamins are the best on the market. And the books, because I know you like to read." Elena picked up the pregnancy pillow, feeling an unexpected wave of emotion rise within her. "You didn't have to do this." "I wanted to," Lincoln said, his voice soft. "I want to take care of you and Sophia." Time passed, and Lincoln and Elena grew closer. He bought fresh flowers every week, prepared Elena's favorite meals, and decorated the nursery with small, meaningful items. One afternoon, while Elena was working in the living room, she suddenly felt a sharp pain in her lower abdomen. She tried to ignore it, but a few minutes later, a stronger pain came. "It can't be," Elena muttered, looking down at her belly. Still 3 weeks to go. She tried to stand up to get her phone, but a severe pain made her collapse to the floor. "Lincoln," she called weakly, even though she knew he was in his office. Fortunately, at that moment, the penthouse door opened, and Lincoln walked in, holding a bag of groceries. "Elena, I got you some chocolate, He stopped, his eyes wide as he saw Elena sitting on the floor, clutching her belly. "Elena!" "What's happening? Are you in pain?" I think Sophia's coming," Elena said, her voice tense. Without hesitation, Lincoln lifted Elena up and quickly carried her to the car. "Don't worry. We'll get to the hospital right away." On the way, Lincoln drove with one hand and held Elena's hand with the other, trying to comfort her through each contraction. When they arrived at the hospital, everything happened quickly. Elena was rushed into the delivery room, and Lincoln stood by her side, holding her hand throughout the process. "All right, I see the baby's head," the doctor announced. "Push a little harder, Ms. Miller." Elena pushed with all her might, gripping Lincoln's hand so tightly that it could have hurt him, but he didn't complain. And then, the sound of a baby's cry filled the room. "Congratulations, it's a beautiful baby girl," the doctor smiled, handing the newborn, wrapped in a blanket, to Elena. Elena burst into tears as she looked at her tiny daughter's face. "Sophia, welcome, my dear." Lincoln stood by her side, his eyes welling with tears as he watched the scene before him. "Do you want to hold her?" Elena asked, looking up at him. Lincoln was surprised. "Can I?" "Of course, you've been with me throughout this journey. You're the first one who should hold Sophia after me." With great care, Lincoln took Sophia from Elena's arms. As he looked down at the tiny face with closed eyes and a tiny fist, his heart swelled with love. "Hello, little one," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "Hello, Sophia." After Sophia's birth, life in Lincoln's penthouse had completely changed. The sound of a baby crying, Elena's soft lullabies, and even the scent of milk and diapers had become an inseparable part of the once cold home. Tonight, after Sophia had fallen asleep, Lincoln and Elena sat on the balcony, looking out at the city with its twinkling lights. "Thank you," Elena spoke after a long silence. "For everything." Lincoln smiled. "I haven't done much." "Are you kidding?" Elena leaned toward him. "You gave me a home, a job, and you were there for me when Sophia was born." "Those are things anyone would do," Lincoln said, although they both knew that wasn't the truth. Elena shook her head. "No, not just anyone. Only you, Lincoln." They looked at each other, and this time neither of them tried to hide their emotions. "Elena," Lincoln whispered, reaching his hand to touch her cheek. "I know things have been happening so fast, and maybe this isn't the right time, but I need to tell you that I love you. I love you and Sophia. I want to take care of both of you, not just now, but forever." Elena felt tears welling up. "I feel the same way about you, Lincoln. I've tried not to because I felt guilty for Sean, but I can't deny it anymore." Lincoln smiled, gently wiping away a tear on Elena's cheek. "We don't have to rush. I'll wait until you're ready." Elena gazed deeply into Lincoln's eyes, then leaned toward him, their lips meeting in a gentle kiss, full of promises for a future together. 6 months later, on a beautiful night. After Sophia had fallen asleep, Lincoln led Elena to the rooftop, where he had secretly prepared a romantic dinner under the stars and candlelight. "Lincoln, what is this?" "A special occasion deserves a special evening," Lincoln smiled, pulling out the chair for her. They had dinner to the sound of soft music and the flickering candlelight. When the dessert was brought out, a chocolate cake that Elena loved, Lincoln suddenly knelt beside her chair. "Lincoln?" Elena whispered, her heart racing as she realized what was about to happen. Lincoln took a small red box from his jacket pocket, opened it, and revealed a sparkling diamond ring. "Elena Miller, you've brought joy and meaning into my life that I didn't even know I was missing until I met you. You and Sophia are the family I've always dreamed of but never dared hope for. You'll make me the happiest man in the world if you agree to be my wife. Elena, will you marry me?" Tears of happiness rolled down Elena's cheeks as she nodded. "Yes, I'll marry you. I love you, Lincoln Adams." Lincoln slid the ring onto Elena's finger, then stood up and pulled her into a passionate kiss. Under the starry sky, two hearts that had found each other in the most unlikely of circumstances officially promised a future together. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales of love, resilience, and second chances. See you in the next story.